There is a silent law, older than time, more precise than the ticking of a clock, and more powerful than any government or economy. It is the law of the unseen spiritual law, the law that governs the seen through the spoken word. When the word is spoken with faith, it becomes flesh. It draws to us the experiences, the wealth, the people, and the opportunities that already exist in the realm of the invisible. We are not beggars in this life. We are creators through consciousness and command. Today, I give you 10 divine declarations. Not idle words, but living, vibrating truths. Speak them not once, not when you feel desperate, but daily, with joy, with authority, and without doubt. Let them become the rhythm of your morning and the whisper of your evening. For what you impress upon the subconscious, you express in your world. Here are the 10. I am one with the infinite substance of wealth. Money flows to me freely, endlessly, and effortlessly. Every bill I receive is a divine opportunity to prove the law of abundance, and every payment I make returns to me multiplied. There is no loss in divine mind. What is mine by divine right now appears in perfect form, under grace. My words are charged with prosperity, and everything I speak prospers. I walk in a universe that is for me, not against me. All doors open, all channels clear, for my financial good to manifest now. I do not strive. I align. I do not chase. I attract. That which belongs to me can never be taken or delayed. Unexpected money is always finding its way to me through gifts, opportunities, miracles, and divine timing. I bless all wealth and rejoice in the prosperity of others, knowing it multiplies my own. I am a steward of riches. I spend wisely, give joyfully, and receive gratefully. There is gold dust in the air for me, wealth in every breath I take, and my supply is limitless. Now hear me clearly. These are not empty affirmations. They are spiritual instruments, keys to unlock the vault of divine provision. But words alone are not enough. You must feel the truth of them. You must walk as if they are already real, even when appearances say otherwise. Speak them, sing them, write them, dance them. Speak them not to make money come, but because you know money has already come in the realm of spirit, and is only awaiting your welcome. You are not here to scrape by or struggle. You are here to express the infinite, to prove that heaven's storehouse is open to the faithful, the joyful, and the bold. The spoken word is not idle. It is not mere sound. It is not wasted breath. Every word you speak is a seed. Every word contains within it the vibration of what it will become. What you speak into the world, you invite into your life. The tongue holds power. Power to bless. Power to bind. Power to break chains. Power to build futures. Words are not innocent. They do not float away and disappear. They take root. They multiply. They return. When you speak with intention, you claim dominion over your world. You no longer drift. You no longer complain. You no longer give life to fear by naming it. Instead, you create on purpose. You speak as one with authority. You declare what shall be. You affirm what already is in spirit. You are not asking. You are announcing. You are not begging the universe. You are commanding it through alignment with divine law. Most people speak without awareness. They speak of lack, of fear, of debt, of what they don't want, and they wonder why those very things return. The law is neutral. The law responds. The law says yes, always yes. If you say, I never have enough, the law agrees. If you say, money flows easily to me, the law agrees. It is not personal. It is precise. It is perfect. When your words become intentional, your reality begins to shift. The world must obey the blueprint of your spoken word. But it must be spoken with faith, not doubt, not desperation, not habit, with belief, with confidence, with inner knowing. That knowing transforms vibration into manifestation. That certainty moves the invisible into the visible. You are not just a body. You are a living vibration, a frequency. And your words carry your frequency out into the field of infinite substance. The field listens. The field responds. The field molds itself around the tone and truth of your speech. That is why you must be deliberate, careful, conscious. Every sentence builds. Every word sends instruction. Every affirmation calls something forward. If you speak of problems, you anchor problems. If you speak of solutions, you invite miracles. If you say things never work out for me, you curse your own path. If you say everything is always working in my favor, you bless your way forward. You become the author of your experience. You become the narrator of your prosperity. You become the vessel through which truth reveals itself. This is not superstition. This is spiritual law. Ancient, unchanging, universal, found in sacred texts, proven in personal lives, known by the wise, ignored by the fearful, practiced by the bold. When you grasp the power of your words, you no longer waste them. You no longer give voice to complaint. You no longer give power to what you do not want. You begin to speak with care, with reverence, with love. You say what you wish to experience. You say it as though it already is, because in the divine realm, it already is. Spirit is not delayed. Only the physical is delayed. And your speech acts as the bridge between the two. When you speak wealth, you make room for it. When you speak success, you prepare for it. When you speak health, you align with it. Let the words you speak each day be full of life, full of light, full of truth. Let your sentences open gates. Let your declarations change your direction. Let your affirmations become your foundation. Speak not from fear. Speak not from old stories. Speak not from other people's beliefs. Speak from your soul, from your knowing, from your authority. You are the oracle of your life. You are the prophet of your household. You are the author of your financial reality. Words are not background noise, they are blueprints, codes, commands, instructions sent into the universe. You must learn to speak not as the world speaks, but as truth speaks. Not as victims speak, but as creators speak. Not as beggars, but as heirs. Not as those in fear, but as those in faith. For you are not small. You are not powerless. You are not limited. You are made in the image of the divine, and the divine creates through the word. Speak not carelessly. Speak not critically. Speak not casually. Speak with direction. Speak with fire. Speak with grace. Speak with the knowing that what you say shall be. Your life is the result of all the words you have spoken in the past. Your future will be the result of the words you choose today. You are never without power. As long as you can speak, you can shape. As long as you can affirm, you can attract. As long as you can declare, you can direct. Speak to your wallet. Speak to your bank account. Speak to your business. Speak to your home. Bless them. Call them good. Call them full. Call them flourishing. Speak to money as a friend. Welcome it. Honor it. Love it. And it will return the same. Speak wealth, and you will feel rich before the riches arrive. And that feeling is the magnet. That feeling is the match. That feeling is the bridge to the material. Every day is a chance to rewrite, to reset, to reimagine. Every morning is a new canvas. Begin it with words of intention, words of faith, words of gratitude, words of success. Speak increase, speak favor, speak open doors, speak divine connections, speak right timing, speak miraculous provision, and keep speaking. Even when the outer world hasn't caught up, keep speaking, keep trusting, keep affirming, for your word never returns void. It plants, it waters, it grows, and it always bears fruit. You are not just speaking, you are sculpting, shaping, sending light into the fabric of your life. The more you speak intentionally, the more quickly you will see change. So choose your words as a master craftsman chooses tools, with precision, with purpose, with prayer. Speak as if it matters, because it does. Speak as if heaven hears you, because it does. Speak as if your future depends on it, because it does. Your word is your wand. Use it, daily, boldly, joyfully. Speak with intention. Speak with truth. Speak with power. And watch the world reform around the vibration of your voice. What you declare daily becomes your internal law. What you declare consistently becomes your outer reality. The words you speak with regular rhythm begin to reshape your thoughts. Then they reshape your beliefs. Then they reshape your outcome. Nothing changes outwardly without first being spoken inwardly. You are not speaking to change the world alone. You are speaking to change your agreement with it, to change your vibration, to shift your alignment, to come into harmony with the divine supply already prepared for you. There is no lack in spirit, no shortage, no delay. The supply exists now. The provision is present now. The riches are already circulating, but they are unseen, invisible, beyond the five senses. They cannot be drawn into the material unless your spirit matches their frequency, unless your soul says yes, unless your inner atmosphere can hold the vibration of wealth. That is the true work, not chasing money, not striving for income, but aligning with the endless supply through faithful declaration. When you speak something daily, you impress it upon your subconscious. You feed it to the deepest part of you. You allow the inner man to digest truth. Repetition is not weakness, it is spiritual training. It is how you teach yourself to believe beyond evidence. It is how you retrain the mind that was raised in limitation. It is how you build a new inner blueprint, one that accepts abundance, one that allows increase, one that receives divine good without resistance. Your daily declarations are not empty chants. They are spiritual tools. They are sacred instruments. They are doorways to higher consciousness. They are not meant to convince the world. They are meant to convince you. They are meant to convince the layers of self that still operate in fear, that still hold on to old beliefs, that still feel unworthy. When you declare something long enough, it sinks into your soul. Then it expresses through your hands, through your habits, through your decisions. There is a rhythm to divine law. There is a pattern to manifestation. That pattern begins with daily speech, with sacred statements, with words that carry spiritual force, not whispered in doubt, but spoken aloud in faith. The more you speak, the more you feel. The more you feel, the more you believe. The more you believe, the more you receive. That is the flow. That is the path. That is the sequence of manifestation. You do not need to see the wealth first. You do not need the evidence. You do not need to convince others. You need only to commit to the daily declaration, to the quiet discipline of truth, to the practice of speaking wealth when none is seen, to the habit of aligning with supply when the world says shortage. That is how you rise. That is how you transcend circumstance. That is how you call heaven to earth. The divine supply does not fluctuate. It does not depend on markets. It does not follow economies. It is stable, infinite, perfect, always flowing. But it flows in spiritual channels, not material ones. It flows where it is welcomed. It flows where there is faith. It flows where it is spoken. Your declaration creates a channel through which the invisible becomes visible, a highway through which good rushes in, a path for miracles to land. If you skip your declarations, you skip alignment. If you silence your speech, you silence your supply. If you speak only when convenient, your results will be random. But if you speak daily, your results will be divine, predictable, expanding, glorious. You cannot afford silence. You cannot afford forgetfulness. You must treat your declarations as spiritual nourishment, as breath, as the heartbeat of your abundance. They are not optional. They are essential. Declare in the morning. Declare before the world has spoken to you, before the news has filled your ears, before fear has a chance to argue. Declare in the evening. Declare before you sleep, before the dream state, before the mind turns inward. Let your soul soak in truth while your body rests. Let your subconscious rehearse abundance in the silence of night. Speak as the last act of your day. Let wealth be the final word. There is power in consistency, power in habit, power in devotion. The universe honors those who honor truth daily. The spiritual law bows to the committed. It does not reward the casual. It responds to the consecrated, to those who make space every day, who make time to align, who speak even when tired, even when doubtful, even when surrounded by lack. The daily speaker becomes the daily receiver. The law cannot fail. Do not wait to feel inspired. Speak anyway. Do not wait to see results. Speak anyway. Do not wait for applause or proof. Speak anyway. The harvest is already promised. But the seed must still be planted. The garden still must be watered. Your daily declarations are the water. They are the sunlight. They are the cultivation of your spiritual soil. And in time, the crop comes. Without fail, without strain, without delay, in perfect season. There will be days when it feels like nothing is happening. Speak anyway. There will be days when your mind argues, when your heart feels heavy, when the old fears return. Speak anyway. There will be moments when the world contradicts your words, when your bank account laughs, when the bills pile. Speak anyway, for that is the test. That is the turning point. That is when the old begins to crumble. That is when the new begins to rise. Daily declarations teach you spiritual endurance. They build muscle, they fortify faith, they stretch your capacity to receive. They remove resistance. They open doors you did not know existed. They call forth divine appointments. They prepare the way. They attract what already belongs to you, and they do so with elegance, with peace, with beauty. You are not just repeating words. You are writing new code. You are building a new energetic structure. You are giving heaven permission to move. You are shifting timelines. You are activating favor. You are inviting divine intervention. You are becoming a match for abundance. You are becoming one with the supply that has always been yours. And you are doing so daily, consistently, boldly, quietly, faithfully. Speak wealth daily. Speak increase daily. Speak favor daily. Let it be the most natural thing you do. Let it be your spiritual practice, your sacred ritual, your hidden strength. For what you do daily becomes who you are, and who you are determines what you allow. Speak as one who knows. Speak as one who remembers. Speak as one who receives. Daily declarations are the bridge between lack and wealth, between doubt and faith, between fear and freedom. Walk that bridge with your words. Every single day, and divine supply will meet you there. Wealth is not confined to banks, not confined to paychecks, not confined to contracts. These are only outer symbols, temporary forms, changing vessels. The true channel is always spiritual, always unseen, always flowing beneath the surface. The physical is the echo. The spiritual is the source. When you understand this, you stop chasing money. You begin attracting it. You stop depending on outer events. You begin trusting divine flow. You stop fearing lack. You begin expecting supply. Spirit is the fountainhead. It never runs dry. It never delays. It never withholds. It pours, constantly, endlessly, through perfect order, through divine timing, through unexpected means. When your mind fixates on the material, you shrink the flow. You interrupt the rhythm. You create resistance. But when your spirit opens, the channel clears. The path widens. The supply begins to pour. Many believe money comes only from jobs, from effort, from exchange, from struggle. But that is a limited view. That is man's system. That is fear's logic. The higher truth says this: your wealth does not come from a job. It comes through a job. It does not come from clients. It comes through clients. These are only vessels, not sources. The source is always spiritual. The source is eternal. The source is limitless. Material channels can fail. They can close. They can vanish overnight. But the spiritual current continues. Strong, steady, silent. If you know this, you are never afraid. You are never without. You are never cut off. You are never left out. You walk in peace. You walk in knowing. You walk in grace because you trust the invisible. You trust divine law. You trust the unseen wealth that responds to your belief. Spiritual channels are not bound by logic. They do not require credentials. They do not ask for perfect plans. They respond to faith. They respond to surrender. They respond to alignment. They flow through intuition, through ideas, through sudden insight, through divine appointments, through people you never expected, through timing you could not have planned. That is why you must stay open, stay expectant, stay available. You may receive through a paycheck, or a gift, or a refund, or a promotion, or a stranger, or a forgotten investment. But no matter the method, the source remains the same. Spirit, life, God, infinite substance. Call it what you will. It is the breath behind the form, the supply behind the shape, the reality behind the illusion. And it is always ready, always full, always more than enough. If you worship the vessel, you block the flow. If you cling to one channel, you miss the others. If you panic when one door closes, you forget that spirit has no shortage of doors. The spiritual path is wide, expansive, creative. It makes a way where there was none. It opens channels that defy reason. It supplies you in ways that leave no doubt. That is the abundance you were born for. That is the ease you are learning to allow. You must shift from control to trust, from fear to faith, from force to flow. You must speak to the true source, not the paycheck, not the boss, not the client. Speak to the spirit behind them. Thank the divine supply in advance. Praise it for showing up. Acknowledge it as your provider, your support, your constant companion. That shifts your frequency. That opens the channel. That changes everything. Material channels come and go, but the spiritual flow remains. It outlives recessions. It outshines conditions. It overrules delay. It overrides obstacles. It cannot be manipulated. It cannot be stolen. It cannot be exhausted. It moves with divine wisdom. It delivers according to your belief, your permission, your readiness. It flows to where it is welcomed, not where it is deserved, not where it is earned, but where it is received. You receive through openness, through gratitude, through declaration, through silence, through faith. You do not need to know how. You do not need to figure it out. You do not need a plan. You need only to align, to expect, to speak, to give thanks before the money arrives, to act as though it is already here. That is how the spiritual channel opens. That is how wealth appears. That is how miracles unfold. There is no need to compete, no need to beg, no need to push. You are not here to survive. You are here to express divine abundance. You are here to prove the law. You are here to witness the power of spirit in the realm of money. You are here to walk in grace, to flow in ease, to embody the principle that wealth is spiritual, that money is energy, that supply is consciousness. You cannot attract what you resent. You cannot receive what you fear. You cannot hold what you mistrust. So cleanse your mind, cleanse your words, cleanse your view of money. See it as light, as movement, as divine substance taking form. See yourself as worthy of it, as trusted with it, as surrounded by it. Speak to it, bless it, invite it, expect it, and let spirit handle the how. Do not make money your god, but do not demonize it either. It is neutral, it is obedient. It goes where it is called. It multiplies where it is respected. It flows where it is appreciated. Money is a servant of spirit, not a master, not an enemy, not a burden. It is a divine tool. It is a messenger of good. It is a reflection of alignment. When your soul is in tune with the source, the supply never ceases. When your heart is in rhythm with the truth, the channels stay open. When your words agree with divine law, the wealth must arrive. It cannot be blocked. It cannot be lost. It cannot be delayed. It is law. It is done. It is unfolding now. So lift your eyes. Look beyond appearances. Look beyond the numbers. Look beyond the limits. And speak from truth. Act from truth. Live from truth. Wealth flows now. Not from effort. Not from struggle. But from spirit. From the source. From the endless river that never stops. That never forgets. That always provides. You are not separate from this river. You are in it. You are of it. You are one with it. Let it flow. Let it fill. Let it prove itself. Wealth flows through spiritual, not material, channels. And those channels are open now. The outer world is not the source of truth. It is not the final word. It is only the mirror. A mirror of past beliefs. A mirror of inner vibrations. A reflection of what has already been accepted as true. But it is not truth itself. It is only evidence of what was, not what is, not what can be, not what must come. Appearances are temporary. They shift. They fade. They dissolve. But truth remains. Faith is your compass. Faith is your anchor. Faith is the bridge from lack to plenty, from fear to trust, from delay to manifestation. It is not blind. It is not foolish. It is powerful, intelligent, precise. It sees through what the eyes cannot see. It knows what the senses do not confirm. It acts when the world says wait. It claims when the world says doubt. It celebrates before the harvest arrives. Abundance must first be felt, not seen, not counted, not proven, but felt, felt in the soul, felt in the body, felt in the silence of mourning, felt in the quiet of faith. When you feel abundant, you activate the law. You become the match. You signal readiness. You tune your vibration. You declare, without a word, that wealth is yours. Not tomorrow. Now. Not someday. Now. You cannot wait to see before you believe. You cannot wait to receive before you give thanks. That is not faith. That is reaction. That is limitation. That is spiritual immaturity. But you are beyond that. You are awakening. You are remembering. You are stepping into alignment with divine supply. And that alignment begins with feeling, with choosing, with knowing, even when nothing around you agrees. Your bank account is not your truth. Your wallet is not your source. Your debts are not your identity. Your bills are not your destiny. These are appearances. They are real, but not permanent. They are loud, but not law. They are visible, but not final. Faith says, I see lack, but I feel wealth. I see delay, but I know timing. I see struggle, but I trust ease. I see closed doors, but I expect new ones. This is not pretending. It is not denying facts. It is choosing the higher truth. It is choosing to feel the abundance that already exists in the spiritual realm. Because that realm is more real, more enduring, more complete. It is the blueprint, the template, the womb of manifestation, and your feelings are the invitation, the signal, the magnet that draws the unseen into form. Do not argue with appearances. Do not fight what is visible. Simply outgrow it, transcend it, rise above it. You do not need to fix the outer world. You only need to correct your inner atmosphere. Shift your focus, shift your feeling, shift your frequency, and the world will follow. Because the world obeys your vibration. It follows your consciousness. It reflects your faith. Feeling is the language of spirit. It is the bridge between thought and matter. It is the proof of belief. You cannot speak wealth and feel fear. You cannot declare abundance and live in worry. The feelings must match the words. The inner must align with the outer. That is integrity. That is power. That is true manifestation. How do you feel abundance now? You remember. You remember every time you were supported. You remember every unexpected gift, every bill paid, every moment you thought you wouldn't make it but did. You remember that you are still standing, still breathing, still provided for, and you let that memory become a vibration, a wave of gratitude, a spark of trust. Then you magnify it, you expand it, you feel it until it becomes your new normal. You can also practice wealth in thought, in imagination, in speech. You can feel what it would be like to have more than enough, to pay with ease, to give with joy, to invest with wisdom, to live with peace. You can sit in silence and feel what already belongs to you, because it does belong to you. By divine right, not through effort, through inheritance, through birthright, through divine alignment. You must walk by faith, not by sight. You must lead with spirit, not with evidence. You must dare to feel blessed when others see lack. Dare to feel safe when the world feels shaky. Dare to feel supported when the numbers disagree. That is how you rise. That is how you access higher provision. That is how you live as a co-creator, not a reactor. Faith does not ignore reality. It transforms it. It infuses the present with divine power. It invites the future into now. It bends time. It shifts outcomes. It cancels delays. It moves mountains. And it begins with feeling. It begins with stillness. It begins with the choice to embody the wealth you have not yet touched, but already possess. Your feelings are not small. They are not private. They are frequencies, energies, signals sent into the divine field. Every time you feel abundant, you say yes. Every time you feel grateful, you say ready. Every time you feel joy, you say I believe. And the law answers. The universe responds. The supply begins to flow. In ways you cannot plan. In ways you cannot predict, but always on time. Always by grace. You must be faithful to the feeling, loyal to the truth, devoted to the invisible, even when the visible resists, even when the numbers argue, even when the mind protests. You must feel what you know, not what you see. Feel what is promised, not what is present. Feel what is true, not what is loud. The world will catch up, the numbers will change, the channels will open, but only after you shift inside. Only after you feel the wealth first. Speak it, declare it, but above all, feel it. Feel rich, feel free, feel favored, feel covered, feel connected, and then live from that feeling. This is your power. This is your secret. This is the foundation of all spiritual wealth. Faith overrides appearances. Feel abundance now, and abundance will feel you back. You were not born to struggle. You were not sent here to lack. You were not created for scarcity. You were not designed to barely get by. You were born of abundance, formed by infinite supply, crafted by the divine. And the divine does not create failure, does not design hardship, does not assign you to poverty. Prosperity is not a prize. It is not a reward. It is not something you earn. It is something you remember. You do not beg for what is already yours. You do not chase what you already contain. You do not ask for what has already been given. You accept. You allow. You receive. That is the truth of prosperity. It is not out there. It is not waiting for you to be good enough. It is already around you, already flowing, waiting for your permission, waiting for your agreement. Divine law does not favor a few, does not exclude, does not punish. It operates through principle, through vibration, through consciousness. If you align, you receive. If you believe, you unlock. If you speak, you call. If you expect, you magnetize. The law is neutral. The law is fair. The law is absolute. It does not bless you because you strive. It blesses you because you remember. You remember who you are. You remember what you carry. You remember that prosperity is your inheritance. There is no hierarchy in divine supply. There is no system of worthiness. You are not required to prove yourself. You are not tested for approval. You are not judged for past mistakes. You are only asked to rise. Rise into knowing. Rise into faith. Rise into alignment. That is the only price, and it is not paid in suffering. It is paid in awareness, paid in trust, paid in stillness, paid in truth. You are not being kept from wealth. You are being invited into it. The door is open. The light is on. The table is set. You are not waiting on divine timing. You are waiting on inner readiness, on inner belief, on inner authority. The divine waits for no man. It only flows where it is received, where it is spoken, where it is believed, where it is treated as natural, not special, not rare, but normal. It is normal to prosper, normal to be provided for, normal to live in ease, normal to receive more than enough. That is the natural rhythm of spirit, not struggle, not striving, not stress, but supply, but abundance, but overflow. It is not given as a trophy. It is not earned through toil. It is unlocked through remembrance, through declaration, through alignment with truth. Stop asking if you deserve it. Start knowing that you do. Stop questioning if you are enough. Start claiming that you are. The divine does not operate on guilt. It does not respond to shame. It does not move through fear. It moves through clarity, through joy, through peace, through certainty. The more you relax into knowing, the more prosperity flows. The more you affirm your right to receive, the more doors open. The more you embody abundance, the more you see it take shape. This is not arrogance. This is not pride. This is spiritual authority. This is divine identity. You are not making yourself a god. You are recognizing that God flows through you, as you, in you, around you. You are not separate from the source. You are one with it, and that source is rich. That source is generous. That source is ever giving, ever present, ever supplying. If you believe prosperity is a reward, you will constantly try to earn it. You will work yourself into exhaustion. You will make sacrifice your identity. You will trade peace for pressure. You will call stress success. You will confuse discipline with punishment. You will delay your good because you believe it must be deserved. That belief is a block. That belief is a wall. That belief must be released. There is nothing you must do to become worthy. You already are. There is nothing you must prove. Nothing you must fight for. Nothing you must achieve first. Your prosperity is not waiting for perfect behavior. It is waiting for perfect belief, for unshakable trust, for divine confidence. You do not prosper by performance. You prosper by permission. Your own permission. Given daily. Spoken aloud. Claimed fully. Declare it. Own it. Walk in it. Not because you earned it, but because you were born for it. Speak prosperity as natural, as certain, as the air you breathe. Speak it without tension, without doubt, without hesitation. Let it become your language. Let it become your expectation. Let it become your rhythm. And as it becomes your rhythm, it becomes your reality. There is no virtue in lack. There is no holiness in poverty. There is no prize for struggle. These are false teachings. These are heavy chains. These are illusions. Cast them off. Leave them behind. Break the agreement with them. Sign a new covenant. A covenant with divine abundance, with spiritual law, with truth that liberates, not burdens, not condemns, but free. Prosperity is a divine expression. It is beauty made visible. It is peace made tangible. It is love in motion. It is the language of fulfillment. It is the atmosphere of ease. It is the evidence of alignment. It is the overflow of truth. You do not need to fight for it. You need only to allow it to open, to relax, to receive, to walk in grace, to rest in knowing. There is no competition in spirit, no comparison, no shortage. There is enough for all, enough for you, enough always. The divine does not measure blessings. It multiplies them. It does not ration favor. It releases it in fullness. You are not stealing by receiving. You are not greedy by prospering. You are simply aligned. Aligned with the source of all. Aligned with the truth of who you are. Aligned with the law that gives without limit. Prosperity is your divine right. Speak it. Claim it. Live it. Not because you earned it, but because it is already yours. Let the world adjust. Let your past fade. Let your doubts dissolve. Walk in the abundance that belongs to you now. By birth, by spirit, by truth. It is not a reward, it is a return. A return to your rightful place. A return to what always was. A return to what cannot be taken. Only receive. Gratitude is not a reaction. It is not a reward for blessings. It is the cause. It is the seed. It is the activator. Gratitude turns the little into much. Gratitude transforms enough into overflow. Gratitude changes energy. It changes attention. It changes results. Gratitude multiplies whatever you give it to. It lifts. It opens. It invites. It expands. It makes room for more. You do not wait for wealth to feel grateful. You feel grateful to reveal wealth. You do not wait for a miracle to say thank you. You say thank you, and the miracle follows. Gratitude is a magnet. Gratitude is a key. Gratitude is a sacred agreement with divine law. When you give thanks, you declare that more is coming. You affirm that what you have is good. You signal that you are ready to receive. Gratitude is not limited to grand moments. It lives in the simple. It breathes in the daily. It thrives in the quiet. Gratitude for breath. Gratitude for rest. Gratitude for food. Gratitude for lessons. Gratitude for the unseen protection. Gratitude for the guidance that shaped your path. These small thanks are not small. They are spiritual currency. They are vibration in motion. They are prayers in disguise. You must learn to bless what you have. Not just tolerate it. Not just use it. Bless it. Bless your wallet. Bless your current income. Bless your current home. Bless every dollar, every coin, every transaction. Bless even the bills, for they are proof of provision. Proof that someone trusted you. Proof that you are alive and moving forward. You cannot curse what you expect to grow. You cannot resent what you wish to receive more of. Gratitude cleanses your vibration. It removes complaint. It silences fear. It stops comparison. It ends resistance. You cannot be grateful and afraid at the same time. You cannot be grateful and jealous at the same time. You cannot be grateful and worried at the same time. Gratitude creates alignment. Gratitude clears the channel. Gratitude calls the supply forward. Every time you give thanks, you open a door. You call forth divine multiplication. You allow spirit to increase what is in your hand. You let the invisible expand the visible. You say, I see the good. I honor the good. I am ready for more good. You say, this is not small. This is sacred. This is a sign. This is enough. And from this enough comes more. Gratitude is the opposite of lack. It is the language of abundance. It does not mean everything is perfect. It means you have chosen your focus. You have chosen your alignment. You have chosen to stay in agreement with divine flow. That choice makes you powerful. That choice makes you magnetic. That choice changes your life. You can practice gratitude in silence, in writing, in speech, in stillness. You can pause and give thanks before you buy, before you eat, before you sleep, before you speak. You can train your mind to notice blessings. You can train your mouth to speak blessings. You can make gratitude your default, not a reaction, a lifestyle, a habit, a presence. Gratitude increases awareness. You begin to see what others miss. You begin to notice opportunities. You begin to recognize divine timing. You begin to expect favor. You begin to interpret events through a higher lens. Even delays become lessons. Even obstacles become teachers. Even endings become doors. This is the power of a grateful mind. It does not wait for proof. It becomes the proof. Gratitude heals the relationship with money. It removes guilt. It removes shame. It removes the false belief that you are unworthy. When you give thanks for money, you bless it. When you bless it, you welcome it. When you welcome it, it returns, not as a master, not as a burden, but as a friend, as a tool, as a partner in your purpose. Every act of gratitude writes new spiritual code. It instructs the universe to deliver more peace, more ideas, more opportunity, more provision. It says you are ready. It says you are aware. It says you are available. Gratitude opens the window wider. It pulls blessings through dimensions. It quickens time. It accelerates manifestation. If you want to receive more, give thanks for what you already have. Even if it feels small. Especially when it feels small. Because that small is never the end. It is the beginning, the seed, the whisper of greater. Gratitude sees the seed and already praises the harvest. Gratitude walks through the field and says, I know what this will become. Gratitude smiles at the unopened door and says, I know what's behind it. Make a habit of thanking before the arrival. Thank for what is coming. Thank for what is unseen. Thank for what is unfolding. Thank as if it is already yours. Because in spirit it already is. Gratitude bridges the gap between desire and possession, between hope and fulfillment, between now and next. Gratitude collapses waiting. It brings the future into the present. You can give thanks aloud. You can give thanks inwardly. You can write it. You can sing it. You can walk in it. Gratitude is not bound by form. It is a state of being, a posture of the soul, a frequency that draws all good things. The more you feel it, the more you receive. The more you express it, the more you experience. Let gratitude be the first word. Let it be the last word. Let it be the ground beneath your feet. Let it be the breath in your lungs. Let it be your response to every gift, every challenge, every unknown. Speak it when you rise. Speak it when you sleep. Speak it when things are quiet. Speak it when things are loud. Gratitude does not need a reason. It creates its own reason. It becomes the cause. It becomes the blessing. You are not poor when you are grateful. You are not weak when you are grateful. You are rich. You are strong. You are open. You are ready. Gratitude multiplies all forms of wealth: spiritual, emotional, physical, financial, relational, creative. Grateful hands always stay full. Grateful hearts always expand. Grateful minds always find the next. This is your power. This is your practice. This is your proof. Say thank you. Feel thank you. Live thank you. And watch how quickly the world rises to meet your gratitude. Blessing is not just a word, it is a vibration, a decision, a declaration. It is spiritual alignment made audible, made visible, made powerful. When you bless something, you do not just admire it, you do not just wish for it, you do not just observe it, you agree with it, you join with it, you send out the signal that you are a match for it. You say, this is good, this is divine, this is welcome in my life. What you curse, you push away. What you envy, you delay. What you criticize, you separate from. You cannot attack what you desire and expect it to stay. You cannot resent what you wish to receive and expect it to arrive. Blessing opens the channel. Blessing clears the path. Blessing brings your energy into alignment with your desires. It transforms judgment into connection. It transforms distance into magnetism. If you see someone prospering, bless them. If you see someone thriving, bless them. If you see someone joyful, bless them. Their good does not take from yours. Their increase is proof that increase is possible. Their gain is a reflection of what's available. Their wealth does not block yours. Their success does not reduce yours. Their expansion does not threaten yours. The universe is limitless. Spirit is not counting. Spirit is not running out. Blessing is not flattery. It is not pretense. It is not people-pleasing. It is sincere. It is intentional. It is sacred. It is an act of faith, a spiritual decision to agree with good, to align with abundance, to practice receptivity. Blessing shifts your focus. It moves your attention from lack to fullness, from fear to trust, from jealousy to celebration. And whatever you celebrate, you amplify. Whatever you honor, you attract. Bless your own life. Bless your body. Bless your past. Bless your mistakes. Bless your bank account. Bless your journey. Bless every version of yourself. Bless where you are right now. Even if it feels small. Even if it feels messy. Even if it feels uncertain. Because blessing is how you release judgment. How you exit shame. How you lift the vibration of the present moment. When you bless where you are, you unlock where you're going. Speak blessing over your home, over your work, over your relationships, over your finances. Speak it with authority. Speak it with confidence. Speak it even when things appear stagnant. Speak it even when results are delayed. Speak it when you feel least worthy. Speak it when you feel most discouraged. That is when it matters most. That is when it does the deepest work. To bless is to sow. To bless is to give. To bless is to water the soil of your spiritual field. It is a form of generosity, a form of power, a form of creation. You are not just saying nice things. You are sending out a call. You are planting a seed. You are claiming your place in the frequency of abundance. That frequency does not respond to complaint. It does not respond to fear. It responds to blessing. When you bless, you become magnetic. You become open. You become aligned. People feel it. Opportunities sense it. Money recognizes it. Doors respond to it. Because blessing carries no resistance. It carries no friction. It carries no fear. It carries the signature of divine order, of divine welcome, of divine flow. Start your day with blessing. Bless the day ahead. Bless the people you will meet. Bless the time you have. Bless the energy you carry. End your day with blessing. Bless the lessons. Bless the growth. Bless the grace. Bless your sleep. Bless your rest. Let blessing be the rhythm of your breath, the default of your thoughts, the foundation of your speech. If something leaves your life, bless it. If something changes, bless it. If something ends, bless it. Do not cling. Do not curse. Do not resist. Blessing keeps you in flow. Blessing keeps you connected to Source. Blessing allows you to move forward in peace. The blessing is not for the thing. The blessing is for your own alignment, for your own freedom, for your own expansion. You cannot fake blessing. You must feel it. You must choose it. You must allow it, but you can practice it. You can build it. You can train your heart to bless by blessing more, by starting small, by starting now. Find one thing to bless today, then another, then another. Soon your mind will shift, your heart will soften, your words will carry new power, and your world will reflect your new rhythm. Blessing works in silence. Blessing works in stillness. Blessing works in chaos. Blessing works in joy. It is always active, always powerful, always sacred. It does not require approval. It does not ask for attention. It does not need results. It simply flows. It simply gives. It simply aligns. And in doing so, it prepares you to receive what you have been waiting for. If you want wealth, bless wealth. If you want joy, bless joy. If you want love, bless love. Do not wait until you have it. Do not wait until it shows up. Do not wait until it makes sense. Bless it now. Bless it when it belongs to others. Bless it when you feel far from it. Bless it when it feels impossible. That is how you bring it closer. That is how you say, I am ready. That is how you call it home. There is no loss in blessing, no lack in blessing, no weakness in blessing. It is strength. It is clarity. It is surrender. It is wisdom. It is alignment. And it always returns to you. Not in the same form, not in the same moment, but always multiplied, always expanded, always divinely timed. Blessing is not an act of desperation. It is an act of power. It says, I see the good. I feel the good. I align with the good. It says, I trust the source. I trust the flow. I trust the path. And that trust is everything. That trust is the bridge. That trust is the opening. What you bless, you attract. What you bless, you become a match for. What you bless, you magnetize. Speak blessing. Feel blessing. Live blessing. And let the law respond. Loss is a concept of the material world. It is a perception, a belief, a conclusion drawn by the senses. But the senses do not know spiritual truth. They do not perceive divine order. They only interpret the surface, the seen, the temporary. Divine consciousness sees differently. It knows differently. It holds a higher perspective, a perfect one. In divine consciousness, nothing is ever lost. Nothing is ever wasted. Nothing is ever gone. All things return to source. All things are held in spirit. All things are transformed. Even what you think you've lost. Even what seems broken. Even what feels gone forever. There is no true separation. No real absence. Only movement. Only redirection. Only evolution. Divine order knows what to preserve, what to replace, what to remove, what to return, and it always acts with love. When you feel loss, you feel disconnection. You feel lack, you feel emptiness. But that feeling is not proof of truth. It is only evidence of attachment, of fear, of a belief in limitation. But limitation does not live in divine mind. Shortage does not exist in the infinite. In spirit, every resource is renewable. Every connection is eternal. Every need is already met. You may lose form. You may lose position. You may lose a job, a person, an opportunity, but you cannot lose your source. You cannot lose your essence. You cannot lose what is eternally yours. Divine consciousness carries everything, holds everything, remembers everything. And what is truly yours will always return, in a higher form, in a better time, in a greater way. Divine consciousness operates through flow, not through force, through harmony, not through struggle, through wisdom, not through accident. So when something leaves, it is not theft. It is not punishment. It is transition. It is preparation. It is clearing space. You are not being robbed. You are not being diminished. You are being redirected. This is why you must not mourn your blessings. You must not grieve your past. You must not fear change. Every shift is guided. Every release is sacred. Every ending is a door. You do not always it at first. You do not always understand it. But divine consciousness never fails. It never forgets. It never lets go of what is meant for you. You are held even when you feel empty. You are guided even when you feel lost. You are supplied even when the outer world says otherwise. Divine provision is not limited by time, not limited by space, not limited by your understanding. It moves in unseen ways, in perfect rhythm, in perfect response. There is no delay in spirit, no error, no detour, just alignment, just fulfillment, just divine flow. When you think something is gone forever, remember this truth. In the mind of God, it still exists. In the field of infinite supply, it is still alive. It is still available. It is still accessible. Perhaps not in the same shape. Perhaps not in the same way. But in energy, in principle, in purpose, nothing is lost. Everything is transformed. Everything is guided home. You may not receive it in the same form, but you will receive what it represented. The peace, the love, the opportunity, the provision, the lesson, the joy. Spirit wastes nothing. Spirit loses nothing. Spirit forgets nothing. What you need will find you again, in the right time, in the right way, in a form even better than before. Do not mourn the channel. Celebrate the source. Do not grieve the door. Trust the mansion. Do not fear the closing. Expect the opening. If one form has ended, a new one is being prepared. If one path has faded, a new one is unfolding. If one supply has shifted, a new supply is rising. There is no loss in divine consciousness. Only movement. Only expansion. Only revelation. Your task is to trust, to release, to bless what was, to give thanks for what is, to open your hands to what comes next. Do not grip what Spirit has asked you to release. Do not cling to what has served its purpose. Do not shrink when the form changes. Remember the truth. The source remains. The supply remains. The love remains. The presence remains. You have lost nothing. You are simply transitioning into more. Loss is an illusion when you live by Spirit. It may hurt. It may confuse. It may shake you. But it cannot destroy you. It cannot disconnect you. It cannot reduce your divine identity. You are whole. You are held. You are guided. You are filled. Not by things. Not by roles. Not by people. By Spirit. By truth. By divine consciousness. This truth sets you free. Free from fear. Free from bitterness. Free from regret. You no longer define your value by what stays or leaves. You no longer measure your worth by what you keep. You know the source. You know the rhythm. You know the pattern. What is yours cannot be taken. What is gone is never lost. What seems broken is being rebuilt. What looks delayed is being prepared. Speak this truth when fear whispers. Speak it when grief weighs heavy. Speak it when change comes too fast. Speak it when you don't understand. Speak it when the form disappears. Speak it when the old life crumbles. Speak it when the next chapter is still unwritten. Say it with faith. Say it with peace. Say it with certainty. There is no loss in divine consciousness. Everything returns in divine time. Everything rises in divine grace. Everything unfolds in divine wisdom. You are not behind. You are not cursed. You are not forgotten. You are exactly where you are meant to be. Held, led, supplied, restored. Not one blessing is missing. Not one opportunity is lost. Not one dream has been wasted. The universe knows how to restore, how to renew, how to resurrect. Let it do what it does. Let it bring you what belongs to you. Let it prove that nothing real can be lost. That nothing good is ever gone. That nothing sacred is ever wasted. Breathe. Trust. Release. Receive. You are not losing. You are aligning. There is no loss in divine consciousness. and divine consciousness lives in you. You do not wait for life to give. You speak first. You declare first. You initiate. You send the signal. You direct the flow. You command the invisible. You engage the law. The spiritual law does not respond to need. It responds to belief. It responds to clarity. It responds to vibration, and your vibration is most clearly expressed through your words, through your faith, through your readiness to receive. Your voice is not powerless. It is not empty. It is not noise. It is sacred. It is magnetic. It carries your intention. It carries your agreement. It carries your faith. When you speak with conviction, you do more than talk. You activate. You summon. You instruct. You release. You step into alignment with the creative force of the universe. You become a co-creator, a vessel of divine expression. Speak with intention. Speak with precision. Speak as one who knows, not one who guesses, not one who pleads, not one who begs, but one who understands the law. The law is simple. Speak it, believe it, receive it. There is no begging in spirit, no chasing, no bargaining, only declaring, only knowing, only opening. You speak your truth, you believe your truth, and then you let it come. The belief is the container, the shape, the mold, the blueprint. What you believe becomes what you allow. What you allow becomes what you hold. What you hold becomes what you live. Without belief, your words are shallow. Without belief, your receiving is delayed. But with belief, your world begins to shift. With belief, heaven responds. With belief, the law moves. It cannot be otherwise. Belief is not wishing. Belief is not hoping. Belief is inner certainty, quiet power, steady knowing. It is the foundation of manifestation. You do not need to convince anyone. You only need to convince your own soul. Speak the truth until you feel it. Speak it until you embody it. Speak it until you expect it. Because what you expect, you attract. What you expect, you receive. Expectation is faith in motion. Receiving is not passive. It is not weak. It is powerful. It is magnetic. It is participation in divine flow. It is the final step of manifestation. But it is only unlocked by belief. And belief is only activated through spoken word. You must speak it first. You must declare what is already true in spirit. You must name what is yours by divine right. Then you must believe that it is done. Then you must open to receive. Receiving looks like gratitude, looks like action, looks like calm, looks like preparation. You do not prepare for what you doubt. You prepare for what you know is coming. You act as if it is already on the way. Because it is. You set the table. You clear the space. You welcome it. You thank it. You bless it. And the law honors that readiness. Speak as often as needed. Speak until your body responds. Speak until your mind agrees. Speak until your doubts dissolve. Speak when you rise. Speak when you sleep. Speak over your day, over your home, over your finances, over your future. Speak with reverence. Speak with joy. Speak from your spirit, not from your wounds, not from fear, not from history, from truth, from divine memory, from spiritual identity. Words are seeds. Belief is soil. Receiving is harvest. This is the law. The law is not broken. The law is not partial. The law does not sleep. It is always working, always listening, always responding. Your only work is to align, to tune yourself, to enter the flow. Speak it, believe it, receive it. Do not complicate it. Do not delay it. Do not doubt it. Just follow it. You are not here to beg for blessings. You are here to speak them into being. You are not here to wish for change. You are here to declare it, to believe it, to embody it, to allow it. You are not waiting on God. Spirit is waiting on you, waiting for your alignment, waiting for your faith, waiting for your voice. Speak with boldness. Speak with power. Speak with trust. The moment you speak, the law begins to move. The moment you believe, the door begins to open. The moment you prepare, the supply begins to flow. It may not come in the form you imagined. It may not follow your schedule. But it will come. It must come. That is the law. That is the rhythm. That is the promise. You do not speak for the world. You speak for yourself. You speak to align your inner world with truth. You speak to awaken your own power. You speak to rise above the noise, above the fear, above the limits. You speak because your voice shapes your life. You speak because your words create, not someday. Now. Not when conditions are perfect. Now. Speak to your body. Speak to your wallet. Speak to your relationships. Speak to your home. Bless them. Call them good. Call them prosperous. Call them whole. Call them strong. And then believe it. Walk as if it is so. Feel as if it is done. Live as if it has already arrived. That is how you receive. That is how you prove the law. Receiving is ease. It is rest. It is knowing. It is being. It is no longer trying. It is trusting. It is moving through the world with grace, with confidence, with quiet joy. You do not force what is yours. You do not beg for what is written. You simply align. You simply allow. You simply step into what has already been prepared. This is the process. This is the formula. This is the law. Speak. Believe. Receive. Say it until it becomes your rhythm. Believe it until it becomes your nature. Receive it until it becomes your new normal. This is not just a practice. It is a way of life. It is spiritual alignment in motion. It is creation through consciousness. It is prosperity through principle. You are always speaking, always believing, always receiving, whether consciously or unconsciously. The law does not pause. The law does not choose favorites. The law reflects you, amplifies you, echoes you. Choose to speak with purpose. Choose to believe with power. Choose to receive with joy. This is your birthright. This is your path. This is your truth. Speak, believe, receive. This is the law, and the law never fails.